Good morning, I'm Juicy Jones. This is Vape AM. This is the show where you spend an hour with me in the morning going over vape things, doing vape stuff. And today we're going to look at the SMOK TFV8 RBA deck. I love this thing. I'm going to show you how to wick it. It's going to be cool. Check it out. SMOK TFV8 RBA. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. I can't wait to get to this thing. Check out the desk. Here it is sitting here. Hello. And we're going to build on that thing. Wick it. I'm going to show to you. Thanks for tuning in to Vape AM. I'm Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping headquarters. And Vape AM is a show where you get to spend an hour with me waking up in the morning, drinking some coffee, or tea in my case this morning because I woke up late and didn't make coffee. And where we chat with the audience and see what's going on. First, before I do anything, I want to get down to the chat window and see what's going on with my peeps. And so, good morning, Rocksteady, TD Wester. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, it's great. Great to see y'all. I'm so sorry that I was so ill on Tuesday. It is disgusting. I just was feeling so horrible. And I got up and I just was chained to the bathroom. So it must have been something I ate or something. Anyway, I really apologize. And that sucked. But I feel much better. And I can't wait to show you guys this TFV8. You may recall that this TFV8 was brought to us by Vapor & Co. And Andy Budd at Vapor & Co., thank you. And he got us this thing because he believes in Orbital Vaping headquarters. And if you do too, go to Vapor & Co. and buy stuff on their website, vaporandco.com. And if you use the code OVHQTV, then you get 20% off anything on the site. So this TFV8 in the review that I did for this was slightly earlier, and they sent this out. It's probably been about 5 weeks now, or 4 weeks. Maybe not that much, maybe 3 or 4. And I'm pretty excited. I really like the deck on this thing. Hey, Orbital Joe, good morning, buddy. In fact, I should turn on the chat in just a minute after I have some coffee. It isn't really coffee, like I said, it's tea, but I haven't had any yet. And the vape, baby. Good morning. It's more beautiful weather in Seattle. I want to say that my heart goes out to everybody who is undergoing that flooding down in the south in Louisiana and elsewhere. I know that William and a couple of other viewers are having a terrible time down there. And one of our compatriots lost his house. So it's absolutely awful. David Weir, William Effler, Zach Marable, sorry. All of you. I'm glad you're safe at least. And I think Zach actually lost his house, or one of them did. It's really sad. Bad weather is really bad. I'm originally from Dallas, and so I'm no stranger to bad weather. I remember having real tornadoes go by a lot as a kid, and it was real scary. Delicious. And what I'm vaping on is my Moonshot 24 on my Nuve mod with a couple of fused Claptons I put in there myself. And I don't know what juice this is. That is the surprise flavor from AZ Swag Sauce. That's right. I recognize it. I don't remember filling it though. Interesting. Haha. I forgot to say good morning. I wonder if I bothered to say, I put this on Facebook, right? I'm sure I did. So this is killer. You guys check this out. Ding. Boomsy. This thing is so great. Am I going to have to fix the focus on this? I'm thinking so, right? Please fix your focus. I'll just stick it right there. Yeah, that's cool. So if you'll notice, this thing is very similar to the RBA deck on the Heracles RTA2, with a single channel underneath the velocity style deck there. You can see that in the velocity style deck, this channel is all open, and that you can freely sort of move the cotton inside there. And then there's just one Cyclops here, and then another one on this side, and it's super cool. What's great about this is that you can fold your wick in there and cut it in there and keep adjusting it to get it right, and then it just really has great wicking and doesn't do too badly. As always, we're using cotton bacon, baby. Cotton bacon. Hey, Angelica, great to see you. Good morning. And hello, Owen, and Tony Dixon, and Carlos Flores. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Great to see you. Love to y'all. Hope everybody's safe and happy. Look, I got some burns. Burns. I just washed my hands so the dressings are all off. I'm going to redress them here in a little bit. Just giving them some air. I love my my Moonshot 24, by the way. Worship it. Anybody out there have a Moonshot 24? I'm guessing no. Hope that's not too loud. Love it. Okay. So, as always with this, I'm going to take more wicking than I really need and start with that. So, this is a 3mm coil, so I'm going to take a kind of 3mm flavor width of stuff, and I'm pretty sure I've got way too much here, but I'm just going to give it a shot here because I like to start that way just to see if I can do it. And we're going to have to trim it, which is great. Well, actually, we're doing pretty well. Yeah, looks like I did okay. Will I be able to get it on the other side? Let's see, guys. I'm just twisting and pushing and pulling and doing my thing. And unfortunately, it looks like I didn't nail it on this. Oh no, we're fine. I just had to get that little knot in the beginning through. Because we're going to cut that off, it's going to be fine. There we go. So that's not very tight actually. And once I trim off the ends, it's going to be pretty good. I'm just going to start here and snip. The one negative thing you might say about the TFV8 is it does require a lot of grooming. Like, I've got this in here now, and it's going to take a lot of snipping and trimming and screwing the top on, taking it off, and you'll see. So it's a little fussy, but I have got it down to slightly where I want it. So one of the things that I do here is that I typically trim this. Why do I have this screwdriver? TD Wester says he has the Moonshot 22, and it's a love-hate relationship. Yeah, I understand. You know, that's actually one reason why I got the 24. My 22 doesn't take builds that are big enough, and the 24 will finally take a nice 2.5mm. It'll take even larger, but yeah, those guys are just chatting about it. It's definitely a pain. What I like about the Moonshot 24 is that the flavor is fantastic. It's the most compact of all these things, and it wicks absolutely fantastic if you do it right. And the building, you know, the building is a little bit of a pain, but honestly, once you get used to it, it's not that bad. But those complaints are so valid. The flavor and the portability of it, and the tidiness of it, make me want to keep it. Okay, so I'm going to trim these. If you notice that my little Cyclops wick hole Oops, shouldn't be covering it. It's just about right there. I'm going to trim it because I want these ends to end right at the bottom of that. I want them to fold into this little flat area together, and I want them to go together kind of like this. So that's sort of my thing here, is that our cotton's going to come out of the sides, the ends, and they come together, and then we're going to fold it together and stick it inside there and flatten it out. And it's going to be just long enough. So first thing I'm going to do is just trim off some of this excess. And then look down here, and there's some we don't need there, so I'm going to trim some of this off the sides. Hope that's not too out of focus. Because we really just don't want that much width out of this. And I'm going to leave the length alone just for now. I'm doing the back. Try to keep this in focus for you guys. And then I'm going to take off some of this because we don't need it. Maybe that wasn't quite enough. And I'm going to turn it this way just so I can see it. Trim that out. Leave the length alone. And this side is much thicker, so I'm just feeling it. I'm trimming off an appropriate amount. And I'm just flattening this one out and feeling it a little bit and trimming off some of the sides. My scissors are not as great as they used to be. Okay, now the cool thing here is that now what we have are two little tongues sticking out. And it's a little messy, sorry about that. My last one was freaking perfect. That's how it is in vaping. We have two little tongues where I've trimmed off the sides of these guys. And my cotton bacon is getting all dusty right there. And it's what's going to happen is when I trim these down to length, then we're going to put them inside there, and we're going to arrange them such that these things overlap each other in the middle, and then tuck them in. And they should be the right length. They should be cool. I'm going to do one side at a time, starting with the shorter looking side. And I'm just going to start trimming. Get some of this length off. And then start tucking. I think even that will be too much. I'm using a flathead screwdriver just to bring that thing to the side and tuck it in to the front so it lays down relatively flat. I hope that's what I'm doing anyway. It's hard to see from the front. I'm doing this from the top, and I usually don't do that. So we have plenty of wicking there, and it looks like I got the length just about right. It just wants to go right in the end. I'm going to tug on it and tuck a little bit more in there. Cool. And we're going to play with this end. I just want to trim a little tiny bit more of that off. And then using the flat side of the screwdriver, Just tuck it in from the near end first. I don't like to stuff it, because orientation of the fibers is important, and you really want them to go like this and be stranded straight down. You really just get the best wicking that way. And it looks like we're doing pretty well here. Oh, love it. Other side. Losing a little length. Taking a little more off the side. Not very much though. I have to take a little more length off because this side I can't tug on. Not much. Yeah, that's good. And now I'm going to pull my tug maneuver and stuff this in here with my wee flatted screwdriver. I can tell already that I've taken a little too much off that. So we may have problems. We'll see. My eyeball on it. If I took too much out, then all we gotta do is pop this open and replace that side. Okay, so on this side, I'm just gonna take some of the length off. And then use my tuck technique to tuck it in there. And now we're doing pretty well. It looks to me like it's gonna do all right. Okay, let's see what the reading says. My RX200S, we are at 0.45 ohms. It's looking good. What should we put on here, my friends? I suggest we put on some delicious smacks by Liquid Sky. That's the end of my smacks, actually. We may have to open this back up. So I'm just gonna give it a little juice here. On these ones with the bottom airflow, I like to do this from the side. Because if you don't, oops, you can get unnecessary dripping into the air system. All I'm doing is just letting a little of this soak in. Love this part. Now this thing has a retaining ring that we're going to put onto it. It's going to keep all this stuff inside. And it's a little bit like the same one we've seen in other versions of this, including the Heracles RTA2. But this one is very large. It's the entire ring. You're basically building a big coil. Making sure this thing is nice and soaked. Got this large 6-wrap Clapton in here. Let's give that a second. Put this little guy on there. The nice thing about this system as well is that you're not going to screw it up by trying to screw a little tiny ring around this guy. There's really a large ring. This whole thing is just a big cap that goes on top. So that's pretty cool. And it's slightly tougher to screw up. We're still at 0.45. I'm going to grab my cap, put a little bit of e-liquid right here, just a tiny tad, just to prime the main airflow or main juice flow. Put the cap on. And I don't love the threads on the TFV8 right here. I do have the slightest bit of trouble getting these on here, but once you do, it's fine. In fact, what I'm going to do is, this is all floppy. I'm going to secure the top first. Put in the O-ring. The huge fatty O-ring, which is awesome. I need to make sure this thing is fully seated inside of its ring. It's got a large depression for itself. Okay, that's good. Looking good. Did I get it? Nope. That time was the charm. Ooh, our DNA battery is charged. How fun is that? That's all that means. It makes the worst noise when you finish a charge, doesn't it? I could turn it off, but it's very nice when you're in the other room. So, here we go. TFV8 RBA deck. I'll just put some in there and a mount. We'll go back up top and vape on it and see what happens. I'm just going to give this a second to fully soak through here. Hey, Milkman Tom. Hey, everybody. Hey, Tony, Orbital Joe, Alva, Nicholas, Rocksteady, Alex, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. There it is. Let's try it. Oh, so good. That's very good. That is so delicious. So far, no problem with leaking whatsoever, so it looks like I did pretty well. If it came through and were giving me dry hits, this is just the same as any RBA. If it comes through and it gives me dry hits, then I go through and I trim and pull fiber out. And if it is leaky at all, then I go back in and I re-wick. And I try to start big and go back. And I did that a few times with this. I love this best with the little curtain method where we come out of the shoulders come out of the holes and the ends just go down and we overlap them. And they stick inside there. And if you trim them down just so they're at the bottom of that little hole on both sides, then you're good. Make sure that you fill the entire inner diameter of your wick. I'm sorry, of your coil. And then this thing is a very, very easy thing to wick. And I like it. So I basically keep this thing wicked the way I just showed you, and I'm able to change juice out as well too, because the two little Cyclops holes is the only place juice is coming in. So if you can vape it down to at zero, and they're at the very bottom of the well here. So I dig this thing. I dig the RBA deck on this. I liked it. The review I gave this thing was excellent, and of course the RBA deck I also think is just excellent. This is a great atomizer, I think. Oh, for those of y'all that just tuned in, I'm Juicy Jones. Thanks for watching Vape AM, the morning show. I'm sorry Tuesday's show wasn't on because I was sick as hell on Tuesday. So today I feel fine. So a couple of you guys asked in chat. That's why. I said that at the very beginning of the show, but everyone wasn't in yet. Hey, there's Onyx Windflare on his phone. Hey, it's great to see you. Let's all have a vape and some tea. Yummy. Hi, Michaela. Good morning. And if you missed it earlier in the show, I want to say that my heart goes out to everybody in Louisiana and anybody affected by the floods out down there. That, I know it's a horrible, horrible time. So I'm with you. Hope you guys are okay. Bad weather's bad. Nicholas is asking if the TFV8 RBA is better than the coils. And that's a funny question because there aren't that many atomizers you can ask about that. And in this case, I would say that the factory coils are pretty much as good as most of the builds that I put into the RBA. This build is actually incredibly excellent. It's in here now. It's a 0.45 ohm, dual 6-wrap Clapton. You saw it. Tastes fantastic. But compared to the 8 coil, that they ship you, it's not that great, honestly. I mean, it's great, but the factory coil is insane. So I'm not going to lie. I have replacement coils for the 8, and I have a 6 too that I want to show you guys. That is right here. Look at that, six coils. I'm going to break this thing out and use it and tell you about it, and I'm excited. So that's why this is one of my favorites, because people who like to build are really going to like the deck. People who like factory coils are really going to like these. The only thing that doesn't recommend the TFV8 is it's a lot of juice. You're going through a lot of juice, even when I keep the airflow closed. Like if you notice here, you can't see super easily, but I keep the airflow pretty low. Like that's almost closed. That's closed and that's open. And still, I think it goes through slightly too much juice. So for me, I like the Moonshot 24 better, mainly because I'm a very portable type of person. And just look at the size difference. But out of all the super sub-ohm tanks, the TFV8 is my favorite one, along with the Moonshot 24. And the reason is because it's so tasty. RBA deck is so easy and good. And the factory coils are fantastic. I can pop in and buy these, and I'm totally happy to do it. I may need to turn the wattage up on these. Maybe. This is good. Yeah, something SMOK did. SMOK did something with these coils, and they're pretty great. At least the 8 coil one they did. And I am just shocked. I also love how the airflow is such that it goes just straight into the coils too. Like directly from the bottom straight into the coils, and the juice just gets sucked in because of good capillary action, good osmosis and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, pretty tasty. Yeah, somebody should trade Michaela for her TFV8. And Owen says he saw the Avocado XL. I'd like to know more about that. Let's hear about the Avocado XL. Bottom airflow. Well, maybe. I'm interested. I'm not sure about that. That's kind of like even more origin-y. It's very interesting. Let me just do a time check and see where I'm at for a station break. All right, we're at 20 minutes. That's great. Yeah, Carlos is pointing out that I wasn't going to review the TFV8 at all, and it's true. And the only reason I did is because my good friend James Reeves, who knows everything, sent me he sent me a text, and he was like, "No, I got a TFV8. I think you should try it." And it's so true. Nicholas Rocha is saying he wants to get rid of a VT75. Why? VT75, remind me, that's the H cigar one, right? That runs the DNA 75? I think, watch out, my dog's going to start barking. Sweetheart, don't bark. She's crazy. Never forget she's crazy. A little bit too low power. My whole thing in the last few weeks has been looking at low power devices. I'm finished with all the reviewing for the RX200S, so I'm going to do that. And then I have an Ember, a 50 watt Ember, an 80 watt Cuboid Mini, and an 80 watt eLeaf iPower 80 watt temperature control mod. And I've just been interested in that because I like the idea of good middle power mods for average people walking around, going to work and that kind of stuff. And it's just, just something I'm interested in. But, they're not all fantastic. And my favorite one probably is so far, is probably the Cuboid Mini, honestly. Although the eLeaf is pretty great too. Let's see. And I'm looking at a picture of the avocado bottom airflow. So they put in a contraption that looks like the juice fill system for the limitless on the avocado. So that's interesting. And now it's got some rotational. Yeah, I see. That's interesting. And Nicholas Rocha pointed out that Grim had problems with his eye power. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's funny, I dropped mine the other day, and I was so clever, I put my foot out, and it landed on the toe of my foot, and then bounced onto the ground. Woo! Aha! Avoided a disaster there. Our caller is asking, our dog is a Shih Tzu. Sadie, come! Come on! She won't come to me. Too much exciting stuff going on. There's like no breakfast in here. Yeah, she's a Shih Tzu. She's the cutest. Now she's like, just standing there ignoring me. She's petulant. That's her favorite thing, is to be petulant. So if I were a cleverer person, I would find you guys a photo of her, because she certainly is cute. I have one of her walking, but it's basically a picture of her pooping. That's not cool. You don't want to see that, do you? And then there's also... Oh, the stoic Sadie. There we go. Yeah. Sorry for the silence. I'm finding a photograph of my puppy, because that's what kind of fool I am. I'm a puppy-looking fool. Oh, she's in here. She's there. Somewhere. I take a massive number of pictures of her. There's one. Oh, she's cute. So, there's my puppy for you guys who want to see her. Nicholas tried to catch his D2 and he dropped it. The D2 is a tank of a mod, but it still needs a cover. I gave my D2 to a friend of mine who needed it, and great mod. But oh my god, after a couple of months in his pocket, all the paint is worn off. It's just crazy how the paint just... I could not believe it. Oh, Alex is taking off. Bye, Alex. And yeah, that's crazy. That's tasty. Ooh, it's good. Yeah, even with the airflow like almost closed, it's just so much air. That's the one thing about the TFV8 that I don't love about it, is that it's just a super duper airy, even with the air down atomizer, and that's just not so much my style. But some people will like it. Like, I know why Michaela doesn't really dig hers. Mike Nagy wants a stealthy mod that has decent power. You know, honestly, the Cuboid Mini is my go-to for that. The only flaw with it is that it's only 2500 mAh. But get a 1 amp charger or buy 2 of them. I don't know. The 80 watt E-Leaf is pretty good and lightweight and pretty stealthy. It's the next runner-up. But there's got to be lots more too. And you know, still my Cuboid Mini is not the worst thing. It's got its 18650, so this thing still does a pretty good job of being small, fitting in the pocket. I have a good rubber sleeve for it. It just isn't as small as my Cuboid Mini. But another thing I like about the Moonshot 24 is that it is exactly 25 millimeters. So it's barely overhanging at all. I mean, barely. So it's still pretty damn small. Yeah, this thing only has 75 watts. I personally need 75 watts. And even when I'm running, what I've noticed is that power inconsistencies and slight discrepancies in builds and that kind of thing make claims, I don't know, dubious, I guess. So having 75 watts means usually I can at least get 65 which I vape at quite a bit, and it feels like it really is. And any less than that, and I feel like I just don't have the flexibility I need. And I've just noticed that. Now, I have builds that are good at 50 watts, and good at 17 watts and 30 watts, but typically those are on atomizers that I don't want to be vaping on the little tiny stealth devices. Like, my favorite atomizers to vape at those wattages are things like my Typhoon GT2 and my Okanagan. And the thing about those is that they're not particularly stealthy. They're actually, their Okanagan is, but the Typhoon is not. And it's a great like 18 watt atomizer, but you know, it's really large. So maybe if I got a K-Fun V3 and put that on the 50 watt device, I'd probably like it a lot better. You know, I might even still try that. Not sure. But still, for the builds that I typically build on my own, myself, my favorite thing is about 75 watts because that gives me the headroom that I need. This is a VTC Mini, but I was saying that my Cuboid Mini is my favorite. And I just don't have it on the desk right now because I think it's in my bag. I think I'm just charging it. I used it yesterday till it was dead as a doornail. And I carry the Cuboid Mini nearly every day with whatever I'm vaping. I almost never leave home without it. It's so useful. And somebody pointed out here, Rocksteady pointed out that there's a bunch of 75, like VT 75, SMY 75. There's a bunch of 75 watt mods coming out now because I think that the new baseline is 75 watts coming out of the DNA camp. They've decided that DNA 75 is the deal, which I suppose is what they thought was the most reliable out of a single battery as their base for those things, which is fine with me. Well, Mike Nagy is saying that he'd be happy with a 50 watt as long as it's compact, and if that's true, then you might look at the definitely look at the Cuboid Mini, definitely, and you might even look at the Ember as well. The Ember is also charging in the other room. It's pretty cool. And then Nicholas, of course, loves his Plato. Yeah, and high-ohm builds with low wattages are really good. Like I said, that's what I've got on this. I wish I had any of these mods with me, but they're all charging in the other room doing their thing. But I certainly like low watt, high-ohm builds. What do I have on my Typhoon right now? My Typhoon, I have a 1.16 ohm build. Yummy. I forgot what juice that is. It's old. Yummy. I love my Typhoon. But this thing itself is way too large to stick on that little Ember. But I love compact. Yeah, maybe my addiction to my Moonshot 24 is the reason why I need 75 or 80 watts. Still, it's pretty nice to have like a 0.2 dual 6-wrap Clapton in your pocket. It's actually hiding in your pocket and not taking up a bunch of space and being big. And other times, you know, I like having my mech with me. Other times it's fine, but sometimes I just need this actually in my pocket to stay there. Oh, and hello, Kilmchin. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Great to see you. I'm so glad you could tune in. Let me just do a little quick time check. See where we're at. Good. We're getting plenty of time. Things are awesome. So for portability, absolutely, that little tiny Ember, the Cuboid Mini, and like I said, even still, my VTC Mini is still pretty darn portable. Some people think this is kind of large, but I still think it's really great because I have a rubber case for it. I still think the Cuboid Mini, like I said, wins my personal contest. Here's the box for the Ember. It's absolutely minuscule. If I were cooler, I would have the Ember here at the desk, but I didn't know we'd be having this discussion, my friends. Darn it. Yeah, it looks like Michaela wants the Lassimo. Martin had one of those Lazimos. He liked it a lot, really a lot. Yeah, and Kimlington's having trouble getting equipment in his country, and it's just about to be that way in this country as well, unfortunately. I hate to say it. It's really tough. We're hoping that we'll see some legal change in the next year or two. It's getting, I mean, I've been a little bit depressed about it lately. It was Indiana first, and now, oh God. Nice. Looks like I pronounced Mike Nagy's name right. Great, I'm glad. Hi, Bob. Great to see you too. Bob just came in. We were just building on the TFV8 RBA deck. Now we're talking about mini portable mods. And mini portable mods is like a little thing that strikes close home to my heart because I love my cool mechs, my Nuve mod, and my 3-battery RX200S, and my Limitless. Oh my God, I love it with the cool Chief print. But sometimes you want something that's really small that just sits right there in your pocket and disappears in there. Because sometimes, you know, you may have to go to the bathroom in a movie and take a vape, or sometimes you just have to take a quick vape on the corner outside the restaurant instead of at the table, and sometimes you don't want to deal with some big, heavy thing, you know, if you're trying to be inconspicuous, which is a polite thing to do. So anyway, it's one of my interests. This TFV8 RBA is just a big, thick, warm vape with, I have the airflow closed down. It's so good. I'm about 115 watts. So tasty. I love Smacks. Smacks is so good. Sugar cookie. Oh, that's so good. That's delicious. And oh, Nicholas too. Oh, Tony's saying hello. I'm getting lost in all the hellos. Hello, 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 everyone. Would you guys like a new picture of my dog, by the way? I'm sure I can find you another one, if need be. So she's a sweetheart. And I appreciate you guys being interested, because she's cute and I love her. There's a picture of her next to my DNA 200 on a walk in the morning. Hey Dustin, good morning. We're talking about mini mods and the RBA deck for the TFV8, which I thoroughly built on. It really only took 10 minutes. You guys see it's really not that bad. There she is after a bath, after a haircut. Not sure. Rocksteady is pointing out cynically, but probably correctly, that they'll probably just grandfather everything in up to August and charge them as much money as they possibly can. I'm sure that's true. It's depressing. Okay. There she is. My cuteness. Wearing my schmog. Oh, that is so cute. That's unspeakably cute. Here's to you, Sadie. Oh, is somebody else out there loving their DX200? I love my DX200 so much. In fact, you guys just heard the bleeping of my charger back there making an unholy sound as I was RC charging one of the batteries. I originally bought this with 2 batteries, and I have since bought 2 more batteries, and it's been about 8 or 9 months, and one of the batteries has completely failed, and the other 3 are fine. But one of them required kind of saving, one of the original ones. And one of the original ones is dead. And the 2 that I bought since then are just fine, which is really cool. I think I'm going to put the TFV8 on my DX200 just because I thought that would be cool. Since you mentioned it, I love this mod so much. My Nuve mod, my DX200, and my Limitless are my favorite mods. And then, of course, my Cuboid Mini. After that is one of my adored mods. So it looks like we're at about, is that really 0.35? I don't believe that. Atomizer check. 0.33, there we go. And I say we should crank up the watts. Smacks. Smacks and tea for breakfast are so good. So I want to remind everybody, make sure that you join Casaa and NotBlowingSmoke.org, because Casaa and NotBlowingSmoke.org are at least out there trying to do something about the lawsuit. Don't forget that October 15th the oral arguments for the lawsuit against the FDA are coming up. The FDA just published their rebuttal or their response to the lawsuit, and of course it's complete nonsense. So, you know, their position is exactly what we think their position is, which is that e-cigarettes, that people who advocate for e-cigarettes are trying to hide it, and that they're actually really dangerous and need to be regulated just as they suggest, which is absolute nonsense. And so let's just hope that cooler heads prevail on the 15th. Maybe the judge will actually see that they've been hiding evidence, and maybe the judge will actually see not a billion lives. I don't know. That would be great. Someone get that copy of that movie, that judge. I think I'm just going to use this picture of Sadie forever. This is my backdrop. I love it. She's so cute. She is so cute. Yes, she is. An adorable puppy. I like her better up there. Oh, cute. So the oral arguments for that case are going to be on October 15th, and God knows what will happen then. I recommend that you guys read the FDA response to the lawsuit. It's a triumph of doublespeak bullshit. This is amazing. Antonin is saying that if he wants something smaller, his Vapor Giant Mech Mod and Avocado 24 are good, but he has to bring a bunch of batteries with him. Yeah, and that's how I feel about the VTC Mini 2, and it's how I feel about a lot of them. I actually carry, one of the reasons I like the Cuboid Mini, and even the Ember, even though I think it's a little underpowered, and all the LiPo mods, like the eLeaf iPower 80 watt that has a 5,000 mAh LiPo, is that I can charge them off of my little battery charger. So I actually carry around a little 16,000 mAh battery charger with USB, and I plug them into it and then pull one out of my bag. But that isn't much less trouble than just changing batteries out either. So, you know, it's true that not perfect. Yeah, and Tony points out that carrying around batteries is a drag. It's true, and it's slightly better with some of the regulated mods as far as how to use your batteries, and you can build for better battery life too. But like I said, I really like 0.2 to 0.3 big Clapton builds, and they eat batteries sometimes, especially some of the low ones. Like some of them in stainless steel are 0.15, 0.1. I really love the Moonshot 24. I'm not going to lie. I love it. I'm going to do a video for you guys about it, but I absolutely love this. Oh, TD Wester, have a great time. You're in Walla Walla. That's fantastic. Washington State, best time of year. Washington State is so beautiful right now. In fact, it's going to be as hot as it's going to get all year. This week, it's going to get to like over 90. And Sean points out you can get a triple 18650 mod too, and you know, we all have those, but we're kind of talking about portable mods too. Oh, Mike Nagy was asking about the FDA response. I saw it on Facebook, and so I will try to find it for you. I saw it right on my homepage. It was posted by Vango Vapes. And I'm going to try to find it here, but it's not working. But I will find it for you. I'll find it and repost it. Vango Vapes posted it. In fact, here's a good one that I'll just post to the group. Yeah. Yeah. Posted. There you go. So I put that on the group. And then Michaela's saying, yeah, she's talking about the iPower 80 watt. My iPower 80 watt, mine's pretty good. It has some, I have some complaints about it too, but I'm still searching for that perfect little thing that's small and light, and that I can use just for work or whatever, because I haven't found the perfect thing. But you know, maybe there isn't one. I'm not sure. It's hard to say, really. All right, well, it's almost work time. My girlfriend is up. She just made a cup of coffee. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. For all of you guys for watching these things, I really thank you. I love all of you guys that are watching, and I thank every single one of you for tuning in. And it's been really fun going over the TFV8 wicking. Even though it only took a few minutes, it was nice to chat too. And it was really cool to talk about tiny mini mods too, because I'm just about to start reviewing like two of these in a row. So that's really cool. So all of you are great. I love all of y'all. Let me just click and say yes to this. And I hope that all of you have a great day. Say hi to Sadie right here. Let's vape out. Have a great day. Make sure you go to Casaa.org, join notblowingsmoke.org, and go to your local vape shop, support them, and let's vape out. Have a great day. Thank you.